Today on GH Coffee Break, Joan Ledbetter from Georgia Highlands College will be with us. Get your coffee. We'll be right back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome to GHC Coffee Break. Joining me today is Joan Ledbetter. She is the Director of Advising at Georgia Highlands College, and she's also a friend and colleague. January is Mentor Awareness Month, and one of the things I know that Georgia Highlands College has been really advocating for the last several years is several mentoring programs. I know we have SES Coaches, AAWCC mentoring program, and several other things. Joan, I know you're very involved in this. So I'm so happy you're here today. And I'm going to actually let you take off and start talking about what a mentor is, and we'll just kind of chat for a few minutes.
Wow. What a mentor is. That's a good question, because that's something that I need to write about pretty shortly, the ideal mentor-mentee relationship. It varies according to your program, your purpose. John Hershey's Brother-to-Brother group, as you know, a major at GHC, nationally recognized,
Yes.
phenomenal group. That's a great role model to look at. He and his colleagues, as far as mentoring these young men, because they're always there for them. They have groups that they work with, and of course individually also, but then there are a lot of mentor programs that are more individual, some that are more group, and some that are a combination. And a lot of schools have different mentoring programs, whether it's working with alumni, peer mentoring, or faculty, staff. And one that I worked with when I was at AAWCC, American Association of Women in Community Colleges, for those not familiar, is the one that we started a couple years ago, the Power of Two. And with that, it's an individual one-on-one that we're trying to do more activities, and they've been branching out this year, which has been fabulous as far as trying to get everybody together. But it's a match, one-on-one, with a faculty or staff member that volunteered and the student that asked for a mentor. So they're matched together, and we've got guidelines, and we put together manual and that sort of thing, but for the most part it's the mentor reaching out and saying, hey, how can I help you, what do you need? So in a nutshell, to sum it up, what a mentor is, an advocate, hopefully a role model is ideal, someone to kind of give them an example of what to do, and someone as a guide. Maybe the best word would be a guide, someone that's there for whatever they need, but to give them information, a listening ear, and to guide them along the way, whether it's in a school or in a workplace. And something I learned in my research that I thought was amazing was, it wasn't total new surprise, but a lot of workplaces and organizations have mentoring. Like, as you're aware, I'm sure, like nursing is a big one, healthcare field. But there are some companies, organizations that are getting more and more into it for their employees. And I think that's fabulous. That would be so helpful, I think, anywhere you go, if you know you've got someone there for you, an advocate. Where's the copier, how to use it, how to fill out the paperwork, the office politics, that would be nice. So even in the workplace, mentoring has been growing. And I think it is... it's necessary, and it's very, very helpful in the college setting.
Okay, well, you just said it's necessary. Why is mentoring so important?
Oh my, well, just to stick with the college level, a lot of times, as you know, students come in and they don't know anybody, of course, but it's so different from high school because there aren't the ready-made classes and cohorts and groups and clubs, and especially at a commuter college like we have, students don't have that ready-made ability to connect. You know, they might go to class and then go home, go to work, and that sort of thing. And they feel lost because college is such a different setting and requires such a different skill set and information box. So for them to go and have an advocate there right at the ready, like what they've attempted this year with the success coaches, if they've got someone there that can already be there for information, for encouragement, and for advocacy, that's just a huge leap ahead. And I found through my research and just in the literature, but then talking to students and mentors, the encouragement factor has been tremendous. We all need encouragement. But in a community college setting where, like I say, they're maybe coming and going, a lot of them are first generation students. They don't have a family background a lot of times of what college is about and how to do college, or understanding at home of, no, it's really not ideal to take 5 classes while you're working 40 plus hours. They don't understand it's different from high school, or, you know, there's more to it. So having that person there that does understand makes a world of difference, and the encouragement factor has been amazing. That's the one word I would use, the most benefit, it would be encouragement.
Yeah, no, I strongly believe in encouragement and how powerful that is.
I know you do.
One of the things that when I think of mentors and mentorship, and the frustration side, on the opposite side of it is, a lot of the students that come in, and even our freshmen, like you said, they're wanting to take 5 classes. But part of the problem is, in order for them to get their full financial aid, if they're not full load, which is a whole different animal, and I won't get into that, but trying to help them understand that, you know, yeah, if you get 3 A's and a C and a F because you didn't have enough time to get all your work done, that F takes a long time to go away, to recover from, GPA wise, which also has an impact on financial aid. So having another student, and see, I like the student-to-student mentorship idea, because another student, they may listen to me, they may listen to you, but another student, they're going to really hear the message better, I think. And so on the flip side of it, you know, sometimes that frustration is that the students coming in don't understand. They think, oh, I only need a mentor if I don't know what I'm doing. And then they think they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the interesting thing with this Power of Two that we started, one of the things that was surprising, the number of non-traditional students that asked for a mentor and that followed through and that got a wealth of help out of it, and the fact that they needed not only the information and support, they needed the encouragement. You know, and you've done this, you've gone to school as an adult where you have a family, and you know, we were talking about that earlier, the challenges of juggling everything. They go back to school and they've got maybe a husband, maybe children, maybe single parent, working at the same time, and they're like, how am I going to do all this? Or I haven't been in school in so long, or, you know, I've never done this, or I can't relate to the younger students. So they have had a big need. But I totally agree with you. In a lot of institutions, it's usually more the 4-year, but even if we could do it on the 2-year, it'd be great to have that peer-to-peer, because you're right, I think they give them more credibility. You know, they, I think they're more believable in a way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can walk into my classroom and hear other students that they'll say, well, this teacher's teaching method I work better with. This one, you know, of course, I use different language than I would. I try to do, and I'll like close my ears. I don't want to hear. But they do for their perspective, and not all teaching styles and learning styles match. Right. And so I think it is appropriate to say in some cases, hey, this learning style did not work for me, but this one's did. So, you know, to have that camaraderie and the ability to really talk about the impact of mentors, not only on a faculty, staff / student, but student to student. And I know it is harder because, as you said, we're community college. Some will come for a year, some will come for 2 years. But a lot of them, once they're gone, You know, we don't have that consistency for 4 years to get like the juniors and seniors to help the freshmen and sophomores.
Well, what I think would be fabulous for us to do, and certainly heard from the ones I interviewed, there's a great possibility that there would be the interest is to have new alumni mentor, because you know, those that have graduated, then you know, they're fresh out of the institution, but you know, they've had their footing, their experience, and they've got maybe a little bit more time or a little more distance, and then let them mentor the students coming in. And I think then they would still really listen to them and have that credibility because of the, you know, time proximity being so close. But it'd make it a little bit easier. You know, you wouldn't have the student that's still overwhelmed with classes and everything else. You'd have somebody that just graduated say, hey, I did it, you can do. And I think that would be ideal if we could set up a new alumni mentoring.
I like that idea. That's interesting.
It's something for you to start.
Yeah, something for me to
with your million other things going on.
And you know, that's part of our challenge, I think, overall, is that everyone, whether it's the students, the faculty, the staff, busy lives,
overwhelmed.
And I mean, we get the student that has, like you said, 4 or 5 classes. They're working part-time or full-time or 2 part-times and have a family. How to juggle that. And I know we have a great Floyd College experience course that does supply and provide students with that basics, but not every student takes it.
Right, not every student has to take it.
Right. And time, I mean, I remember when I taught that class years ago, how important time management was one of the modules that we talked about. And inevitably, I get with, regardless if it's my traditional or my online students, I constantly get this, I'm not managing my time well.
Yeah.
And I try on an individual level when they'll share. Some of them will very willing to share, some of them are not, but when they'll share with me, okay, let's sit down. What do you have to do? Can you put aside, because technically if you're spending an hour in class, you should be spending between 1 and 2 hours outside of class.
At least, yeah.
And I think a lot of students don't get that. So if they're taking 5 classes, that's 10 hours.
They don't get that, and what I have found out through my time advising, but a lot too with my research at Highlands, a lot of the family and the parents don't get that. If they've not gone to college, and maybe if it's been a long time too, but a lot of them, it's first generation students, they don't get it. And that's why a mentor is so helpful, because it's someone there that actually understands and can relate, you know, better to them. And I think you'd be amazed at how these students really did connect with their faculty or staff mentor, opened up to them, and how helpful it was. It made a big difference.
And you know, I know we don't mandate or require the mentor program or the success coach program, but I know this year it was a big focus on freshmen, but I think it was full-time freshmen, not just a freshman if they didn't take the full.
It was first-time, full-time freshmen.
Yeah, right. First-time, full-time, and which left a little gap actually for the students who were part-time but still could have used that.
Or even if they were dual enrollment, then they weren't really first-time, even though they were young students and just starting out.
Yeah.
But I've just seen that everyone needs the encouragement, and the difference has been astounding. Honestly, I've interviewed students that said, I would not have made it. Talk to them, talk to their mentors, the life, I mean, tragic deaths, sickness, family issues, feeling bad about making a bad grade, that things that could have derailed them, like you spoke of the F earlier, that's also a psychological, you know, what am I doing, I don't belong here kind of issue. So with all the issues that they've gone through, the encouragement I've seen has gotten them through, having that person there to push them on, saying, no, this is what we're going to do, I'm going to help you and you're going to get through. Okay. And it's made a world of difference.
Well, Joan, we're going to take a little bit of a break, so get your coffee and we'll be right back.
I'm transferring to the University of West Georgia.
Columbia University.
Kennesaw State,
UGA, Loyola University in Chicago,
Grambling State.
Shorter University. I'm going to Greensboro College, and we all got our start at Georgia Highlands.
No matter where your educational journey takes you, you can get your start at Georgia Highlands College. Georgia Highlands College. Enroll, engage, excel.
Welcome back to GHC Coffee Break. I hope you had time to fill your cup.
I did.
Good. So, Joan, we were talking about mentoring and mentoring programs. I know you're doing, I believe it's your dissertation. What's the title of it?
Well, the dissertation is on the mentoring program that we started at Georgia Highlands. It's a qualitative study, and it's on the experiences of the mentors and the mentees. So I interviewed 20 mentees, and I only had to interview 10 mentors, but this is how crazy I am, and I was really enjoying the interviewing. I did 3 extras, and I wanted to do extras on the mentees, but you know how hard it is to get hold of students. I could have interviewed forever, and obviously I would have never finished, but it was just fascinating. It was so enjoyable and motivating to me, inspiring to me to hear them, that I wanted to keep going. And I'm basing it off 3 main theories that I'd love to mention real quick. One, self-efficacy, and we talked about all the information that they need to know and the help and how to do college. So that's one thing. And then student motivation theory, that's another biggie as far as what goes into motivating them to stay in school, which a lot of that has to do with helping them with the career goal. And I've seen that through the interviews, like she helped me figure out what to do, what school to go to, and that sort of thing. But mattering theory is the crux of my theoretical, that's the theoretical framework I'm using. It's the crux of what I'm using, because mattering theory has to do with making a person feel like they're seen, they're important, they matter. Ego extension is a part of that. And the fascinating thing, I think you might be interested in, and I'm sure you know though, is what it's done for the mentors. Mattering theory went a long way for the mentors. And if I may, I'll just read you real quick. I went to the mentoring conference in New Mexico in October, which was fascinating. And for my presentation there, I had a little chart of what the mentees and the mentors said. And the mentors said that they feel more rewarded, affirmed, strong, valued. They feel stronger from doing this, refreshed. Some said that they felt less stressed. You think putting one more thing on somebody, they'd feel more stressed, but they said less stressed. Positive, enriched, blessed, part of a team, part of a family, part of something positive, more important, more productive, more useful. The mentors said that they felt like they were making more of an impact and receiving more satisfaction than they felt from their jobs. They felt they were making a difference and that they matter. Now, you know, as a teacher, how rewarding that is. Our staff members have jobs that are rewarding and they interact with students. But what especially the faculty said that were mentors was they see the students in class, you know, they go to class, they leave class. But this was a one-on-one, really getting to know them, really getting to have a major impact on their lives, which they were able to see, and I was able to see from the interview the ripple effect.
Right.
You affect someone's life, that affects so many people's lives you'll never know.
Yeah.
And so that gave them so much satisfaction. I helped her get through the term. I helped her graduate. I was so excited to see her. They were like moms.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm very fortunate in the program I teach. It's Human Services. It's a career-based program. And so I get that kind of relationship with all the students that come through my class. We just have that. It kind of just happens. But I can remember, and what you said too is my first at Georgia Highlands, which was Floyd Junior. I'm really aging myself now. Floyd Junior College.
I remember.
A wonderful man, Dr. Cook, and Dr. Jim Cook, and he was a history professor here. He's retired now, bless his heart, and doing very well, still writing, but. That was my very first class, a history class, because that summer, that was the only class I could take at the time, and I was getting my feet wet. At the end of and it was a short-term semester. At the end of the semester, I was making a C. And I thought, I am not college material. I don't need to be here. Well, I don't know how I did it at the time. Now, today, oh yeah, I'm going to find out what's going on. But at the time, I was more kind of the quiet. I know it's hard to imagine, Joan, but I really was kind of quiet.
I'm with you.
But I went to him after class when I was seeing it was evident I was going to make a C in the class. I was devastated. And I said, Dr. Cook, I said, maybe I'm just not college material. I really thought I could do better in this. And he told me, he said, you did fantastic. He said to take a short, history's got a lot of information, to take it in a short term. And he said, quite frankly, I'm pretty tough to make a C in my class in a short term. You're doing good. Don't give up. All he would have had to do is say one thing negative, and I probably would have never taken another class at college. But he encouraged me. And I tell him to this day he's partly responsible for me.
You might have crumbled.
Yeah.
And what the struggles that some of these students are under, if I may just point out, some of them might have easily crumbled, and they said it, and their mentor said it. This student's talking about how her mentor is now an amazing friend. This one's talking about how her mentor is always cheering for me, and cheerleader was a big part of it that came out. This mentor is talking about how inspiring it's been for her, how much she enjoyed it, and she also grew. And this one down here is talked about it's been one of the most rewarding things she's experienced working at the college. And I know from interviewing the difference in their lives that it made.
Oh, yeah.
And it was beautiful because they chose their mentees, and the mentees wanted to be mentored. So they really connected strongly.
And I think, because on the opposite end, of the Dr. Cook, I had and I will not say this person's name, at another college when I got into my bachelor's program. And it was a math class. And math is not my strong suit. And it was college algebra. And he did say that. When I raised my hand to ask a question in class, and he basically said I was stupid because I should have gotten this in high school. And I met with him after class and said, look, I have a tutor, I'm doing all this, I'm still, struggling with the course. And he said, well, maybe I needed to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist. That obviously I had a mathematical blockage of some sort. And I just nodded my head and said, yes, sir, thank you. Now, he couldn't say that to me today because I have more confidence.
I think you'd slug him today.
But if I would have been a first-year student, I'd already graduated from George Floyd Junior College with, all A's just about. GPA was great, and I had built my confidence. I would have quit, though, if that would have been my first class. If that would have been that summer, there was no way. So I want to, as much as I want to emphasize the positive, I also want to demonstrate how the negative can impact not having somebody mentoring, not having somebody cheerleading.
That's a great segue, because I did have some experiences that were not out the roof 100%, but all but one were good and were positive. One that was not positive, the student said that she was signing up to mentor because she wanted to show students what it should be like. Her experience was that her mentor, I'm sure she meant well, but she would be very distracted. She would look at her cell phone and get on the internet when she was supposed to be talking with her. Ooh. So it's a great segue, because I also have the math experience I won't go into, but that can be a block. That can be a block when you do that to someone. And if you start out to mentor somebody and you don't do it right and have your heart in the right place, as these mentors will tell you, you can do more damage than good. So, wonderful segue, because what you were talking about with your professors and what I've had, those that put me down in front of class, that did create a math block. Those professors that were encouraging gave me the confidence I needed to go on. They were unofficial mentors.
Yeah.
And Susan Claxton is an unofficial mentor to many, because I know she is, because she is to me. So, I want to tell you what an ideal mentor is. While you look at that, you can take it out if you want to.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully it won't fall apart. A mentor is someone that encourages you. Susan Claxton does nothing but encourage. A mentor is someone that checks up on you, follows up on you, and asks you how you're doing and actually listens. And Susan Claxton does that. She actually listens. And honestly, when you stop by my office and you say, how am I doing? And you actually give your full attention, that's what the mentors need to be doing. And for the most part, our program has had that. But like I say, I have seen the negative side. And if you don't give someone your full attention and show them that they are valued and that they're worthy of you taking the time out, then you can do more damage. Or if you say something negative, which I'd heard happen too, if you say something that's negative when someone needs help or they want affirmation, then it can do damage. And luckily, I know in the case with my student, she was strong enough to just use that as a case of, this is how I'll not do it. But a mentor is someone that cares. She puts that person first. She follows up and checks in on that person, and she encourages and advocates for that person. Here's your mentor. And you can be an unofficial mentor as well as an official mentor.
Yeah, and I've thankfully had a lot of unofficial mentors in my career and my in my educational career as well. And Joan, you too are a professional and a unofficial mentor.
You're sweet, which brings to another big part of mentoring in my research that I'd love to go back to. These mentors said that they wanted to do more, that they wanted to pay it forward. And the mentees, many of them said, now I'm going to mentor. I've signed up to mentor. I'm going to mentor. I'm going to when I get out of school. And what you're talking about, I think, because of your heart, you've had people give you that encouragement, that unofficial mentoring, and you've been paying it forward ever since. I think you saw some good role models, and naturally, the way you are anyway, you took that and you ran with it.
Well, I appreciate, this was a great surprise. I really appreciate it.
Well, if you read, it says, for a star of a mentor.
Well, thank you very much, and that will be a treasure. Well,
I hope you'll remember that as your own personal reminder of encouragement and affirmation of the inspiration that you are to your students and to so many faculty and staff and people everywhere that you unofficially as well as officially mentor.
Joan's going to make me cry, so we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with GHC Coffee Break.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Welcome back to GHC Coffee Break. I want to thank Joan immensely for joining me today and talking about one of my favorite things. When the Success Coach came out, I did sign up for it because I do genuinely care about the students that come through our doors. I had great mentors here. 2 of mine have since died, Jim McKeel and Steve Burns, who started the Human Services Program. But they will forever have a place in my heart and a place of honor and to be able to pay that forward to our students. So, Joan, thank you. And whether you know it or not, you're one of my mentors too.
Oh, that's sweet. Don't, yeah, you're going to upset me.
Until next time on GHC Coffee Break, have a good day.